Hello everybody and welcome to today's webinar where we're going to be looking at routine in home learning. Now, those of you who are avid users of Education City will know that Education City enables you to set work for children to complete at home. And obviously with the sort of government guidelines that have been released lately, enabling children to continue their learning at home is obviously something that they will benefit from, and obviously will benefit us as teachers as well in terms of filling in some of those gaps that may have appeared in the last few months. So the idea for today is that we're going to go through the Education City tools for assessments, the My Cities, additional resources that can be used, and our success tracker. Essentially going through the old assess, plan, do, review cycle and the tools that Education City has to offer that will support you in that area. Now, just before we get started, hello, my name's Hayley. I don't think I've introduced myself yet. There you go. Just before we get started, the account I'm going to be using to show you this today is a made-up school, so do not worry about any names that you may see. All completely fake, so no GDPR being broken during this webinar. It is also an English account, so I will point out if there are any differences as I'm going along for any listeners today from outside of England. And finally, if you're watching and you think, oh, do you know what, it'd be really useful if they did this, or how do you do that? Save your questions for me, because at the very end, I will give you my email address and you can send those over. I have also been told that I do go quite quickly. I do apologise for that. I've got like a limited time frame that I can do this in, but all of our webinars are recorded and they're available to view on our YouTube page and on the video user guide, and I'll show you that as we get started. Okay, assess, plan, do review for home learning. Let's get started. Head over to Education City. And here we are on the homepage. Now, if you go in and you it looks like the old homepage, you can still use what I'm about to show you. If you'd rather go onto this page to kind of follow on, then you can click on the button just there on that ribbon and it will bring you to this view. Now, just a couple of bits. The video user guide is just there that I mentioned earlier. I'll just open that up. You'll see all of our webinars are there, along with some guides to help you through the rest of Education City if you need it. And for the first part of this routine in home learning, we have our assessments. Here they are, just here. Now, these may differ depending upon where you are watching from today in terms of the year groups and the different subject areas that they cater for. But essentially, you can send these assessments home to your students in order for them to complete. And you can also access for the previous year if you want to look at any gaps, maybe at the beginning of next year, or even now, looking at those gaps and able to pass those on to the next teacher. So you can see you've got your assessments, you can give those to a class or a group. And then you've got those different levels, so feel free to explore the assessments for the previous level. You can also preview them just here. So if you're looking for a really specific area, let's say in punctuation and grammar, you can preview that to see if it meets those requirements for you. And just follow your who, your what, set your date and submit, and then that will save that as a folder for you and allocate those to the students on the date that you have selected. So you can see you've got your 3 steps just there for you to work through. I'll let you explore that in your own time, but that's where you'll find all of your assessments. Now, in terms of planning, if you haven't already used My City, why not? They're amazing. And you'll find our My Cities just here. You can see that on that left-hand panel that follows you throughout Education City, you've got your My City icon just there, and here they are. And these are folders of work, essentially. So if I head into homework, we can obviously create new homework, pop in whatever it is that we're working on, save that, create it, and then start adding those work in. But I've just got a bit of a Blue Peter moment. Here's one I made earlier. There we go. And you can see it's for the week beginning 22nd of the 6th, 2020. Now, in this folder, what I've done is I've put in everything I want my students to achieve for that particular week. And you can see as well, I've got in my English or literacy, my maths or numeracy, and my science tools in there as well. And you can see I've got some different tools in there. I've got a couple of learn screens for the children to learn from. They can watch those in their own time. We've got the activities there. Don't forget that all of the activities are marked for you as long as children log in. So that's really important when we get to our success criteria. Success tracker at the very end. So used to saying success criteria. And you can see a whole range of things in there that have been done. But we could write a little note in for the students there. Something like this week. Maybe type in what it is that you want them to do. English, write a newspaper report. Maths, whatever it is that you want them to do. Science, let's go for grow a plant. Why not? Or investigate growing a plant. Whatever you want to do. So you can sort of put in a couple of instructions just there. And then you can go through the process of students' preferences tracking and so on and so forth. Alternatively, you can see I've got everything in here that I want to give to students. I'm just going to save that and head back along my breadcrumb trail at the top left here. What I could do is create a copy of this folder by clicking in the box next to it, Actions, Create a Copy. And I could separate the subjects out. So this one will be English. There we go. And then what I can do is I can go through and I can get rid of all of the maths and the science in this folder by simply holding down the clicker and dragging towards the bottom there. And you see that just gets rid of those tools. Oh, there we go. Ooh, flashing at me a little bit. There we go. But you can see you can really edit that out for however you need to. So if you want to keep the subjects separate, you can do that. If you want to keep it all together for a specific week, you can do that as well. So feel free to use the planning as you will, whether you're doing it for individual lessons, for weeks at a time, whether you're doing it for specific subjects in terms of a unit. Use it however you need to. And obviously you can sequence if you need to. I'm just going to leave this open for the students to bob in and out of as they need to and access the tools that they need in order to write their newspaper report just there. There we go. Obviously I can go through and I can take out Science Grow just there because this one's about English. There we go. And we can save that. So however you want to use your My Cities, you can use those whatever way you need to in terms of homework. So we've done assess, plan. Obviously the children are going to do what you've set in there, hopefully. And as I mentioned, any assessments and any activities will get marked for you. So now it's time to review. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the scores and reports and into the success tracker just here. And you can have a look for different dates. So if you've set work for that week, have a look for that week. If you need to, you can see that's for that week. But the great thing is about this, you can actually set for a term, a half term, a key stage, an academic year, and group that information together to pass on to the next teacher if you need to as well. So I'm just going to go for a random date just there. If I just click on to go, you'll see everything that has been done by those students in that time frame, in that academic year. And you'll see you've got your students just here. We can obviously order those by surname, and you can export this data as well. So it doesn't have to remain on Education City for the next teacher to view, which they can do. You'll see just here, you can view year 2 and year 3 work just there. All teachers that are logged into Education City will be able to view this. But if you did need to create that report, you can do by exporting it just there. And you can have a look as well for particular assessments. You can see here this formative assessment. You can go through there. You can filter down to just that date. And the great thing is as well, you can also filter down to individual students. So as an example, if I have a look at this student just here, you can see everything that one student has done. Export that data if I need to. Really good for parents' evening, this one. So you can show that on the screen if you're doing the virtual parents' evenings. But you can use that data if you need to, and use that data ready for the next piece of work as well. You've got your subject filters just here as well, so you can go through and you can filter those down too. There we go. So that's it. That's your assessment, your planning. The children can do the work. It gets marked for you in terms of the activities and the assessment, and you can review it using the success tracker just there. Now we've got our brand new work overview just here, so you can start tracking who's done what. There we go. You can see here you've got a bit of a not attempted, in progress, and completed, so you can track those. And don't forget our quick links at the bottom here as well. So our Play Live is on there, online safety, times tables, and phonics. We do also have some printable resources that you can print off and you can save as PDFs to send home. As an example, let's head into English. There we go. We've got our spotlight on tomorrow, so make sure you register for that one. But you can go in and sort of filter down for those specific worksheets if you need to, and also for our annual tools for different times of the year. And don't forget that all-important teacher resource pack as well, full of the things you spend all of your PPA time making. Absolutely loads of tools in there that you can use for display purposes, or you can use for teaching and learning. And all of those can be saved as PDFs as well if you do wish to send them home. There we go. That is just about everything for you. Now, we do have a number of spaces for future webinars that haven't yet been filled with a theme or a title, so let us know. And if possible, could you also let us know what you think about us doing this webinar at 3 o'clock? We're trying to sort of practice, have a go at some different timeframes to see when best suits you as teachers. So we've done 12:30, we've got 10 o'clock ones, we've got 3 o'clock ones. Let us know what time would suit you best. But don't forget, all of our webinars are recorded if you can't make the live webinars. You can watch those in your own time. Any questions from today or anything else, get in touch at our email just there. Any feedback you've got for us as well, whether it's about this webinar, whether it's about timeframes, or about Education City in general. We really do love to hear from you. Hopefully, I will see you at tomorrow's Spotlight webinar. But if not, take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.